Public Storage is massive. It is one of the most recognizable names in self-storage real estate. And in 2026, if investors are searching for self-storage REITs, PSA stock is usually one of the first names they find. But here's the problem. The biggest company is not automatically the best investment. Public Storage has scale. It has brand recognition. It has a huge operating platform. And it has a business model that sounds simple. Rent storage space to people and businesses that need room. But investors still need to ask the harder questions. Is cash flow growing? Is same-store revenue improving? Are expenses under control? Is the NSA acquisition creating value? And is the stock price reasonably for the growth investors may actually get? So, in this video, we are breaking down Public Storage, ticker PSA, as the largest self-storage REIT in 2026. Scale is an advantage, but investors still need cash flow, growth, and valuation.
Public Storage is a self-storage REIT. In simple terms, the company owns and operates facilities where customers rent space. That can be personal storage, business storage, moving storage, extra household storage, or temporary space during major life changes. As of the first quarter of 2026, Public Storage owned and/or operated thousands of facilities across the United States. The company had more than 3,500 facilities, operated in 40 states, and had roughly 259 million net rentable square feet. That scale is important because self-storage is a very local business. Customers usually choose a facility based on convenience, location, pricing, and trust. So a large national platform can help with brand, digital marketing, technology, operations, and capital access. The simple version is this. Public Storage rents space to people and businesses that need room. But to understand the investment case, we need to understand why self-storage can work as a business in the first place. Self-storage works because demand is often connected to normal life events. People move, people downsize, people renovate, people get divorced, small businesses need space, families inherit furniture, and many households simply run out of room. That demand is not glamorous, but it can be durable. Self-storage also has some attractive business characteristics. Leases are usually shorter. Pricing can adjust faster than in some other real estate sectors. Operations can be simpler than apartments, malls, or office towers. And the monthly cost for a customer is often smaller than residential rent, which can make the service easier to keep during normal times. But simple does not mean risk-free. If housing activity slows, if people move less, or if customers become more price-sensitive, storage demand can weaken. Self-storage demand is simple, but the stock still needs growth. And for Public Storage, that growth depends on how the company turns units, occupancy, and pricing into cash flow. Public Storage makes money primarily by renting storage units. The core engine is simple. Rent units, maintain occupancy, adjust pricing, grow property-level NOI, and convert that into core FFO. But PSA's business is broader than just monthly rent. The company can also generate income from tenant insurance, fees and services, acquisitions, development, and its stake in SureGuard in Europe. For investors, the key metrics to watch are occupancy, realized rent per occupied square foot, same-store revenue, same-store NOI, core FFO, and dividends. This is where beginners and advanced investors can meet in the middle. Beginners can think, are the buildings full and are customers paying more? Advanced investors can think, is pricing power translating into NOI and core FFO per share? The storage unit is the product. Occupancy and pricing are the engine. But Public Storage has one major advantage over many competitors: scale. Public Storage's biggest advantage is scale. The company has a national brand. It has a large operating footprint. It can invest in technology. It can spend efficiently on marketing. It has access to capital. And it has the ability to acquire, develop, and improve storage assets over time. In self-storage, this can matter a lot because many customers are not trying to analyze the whole industry. They're asking a simple question: where can I store my things safely, conveniently, and at a fair price? A large brand can help win that decision, but investors need to be careful. Scale helps PSA compete. it does not automatically guarantee strong stock returns. If growth is weak, if expenses rise, or if investors overpay, even a high-quality REIT can disappoint. Scale helps PSA compete, but valuation decides investor returns. So now let's look at the actual first quarter numbers.
Public Storage's first quarter of 2026 showed a strong business, but not a hyper-growth story. Core FFO per share was $4.22. Core FFO growth was 2.4%. Total self-storage growth was 2.6%. Same-store NOI margin was 77.1%, and same-store occupancy was 91.5%. Those are important numbers. The margin shows that PSA is an efficient operator. The occupancy shows that demand is still there. And core FFO growth shows that the business is still generating solid cash flow. But the growth rate is not explosive. This is not a software company growing revenue 50%. This is a large real estate platform trying to produce durable cash flow in a more challenging self-storage environment. PSA is profitable and efficient, but this is not a hyper-growth story, and the guidance makes that even clearer. Public Storage's 2026 guidance shows why investors need to be balanced. The company reaffirmed core FFO per share guidance of $16.35 to $17. That is a large cash flow base, but same-store growth is still under pressure. Same-store revenue growth is expected to range from negative 2.2% to 0%. Same-store expense growth is expected to range from 1.5% to 2.8%. And same-store NOI growth is expected to range from negative 3.9% to negative 0.5%. That makes matters. It tells us the business is strong, but the operating environment is not easy. Revenue may still be pressured. Expenses may still grow, and same-store NOI may still decline. So this is not just a story about being the largest self-storage REIT. It is a story about whether PSA can return to stronger organic growth. Guidance shows a strong business, but not an easy growth year. And this is where PSA's big acquisition becomes important. The biggest strategic move in the PSA story is the pending acquisition of National Storage Affiliates. Public Storage announced an all-stock transaction valued at an enterprise value of approximately $10.5 billion. NSA's portfolio includes more than 1,000 properties, about 69 million rentable square feet, about 550,000 units, and exposure across 37 states and Puerto Rico. On paper, this can make Public Storage even bigger. It can add more markets, it can strengthen the platform, and it may create opportunities for operating efficiencies, rebranding, revenue management, tenant reinsurance, and scale benefits. But bigger is not automatically better. Acquisitions require execution. Integration matters. Synergies need to become real, and investors need to see whether the deal actually improves per-share cash flow over time. The NSA deal could make PSA bigger, but bigger still has to become better. And that leads directly into the first major risk, same-store growth. Public Storage is huge, but even a massive portfolio depends on local performance. A storage facility in one market still needs local pricing power. It needs move-ins. It needs customers to stay. It needs realized rent to hold up, and it needs occupancy to support revenue. That is why same-store growth matters so much. Same-store metrics help investors see how the existing portfolio is performing without simply relying on acquisitions, development, or new assets. If same-store revenue is under pressure, investors should pay attention. They should ask whether new customer rates are improving, whether move-outs are stabilizing, whether occupancy is strong enough, and whether pricing power is returning. A massive portfolio still needs local pricing power, because scale can help the company compete, but it cannot fully escape the cycle. And when revenue is pressured, the next question is expenses. Public Storage has strong margins. A 77.1% same-store NOI margin is impressive, but strong margins do not mean expenses do not matter. Self-storage facilities still have property taxes, insurance, payroll, repairs and maintenance, marketing, utilities, technology spending, and operating costs. When same-store revenue is flat or negative, even moderate expense growth can pressure NOI.
That is exactly why investors need to look beyond the headline simplicity of the business. A simple storage facility may look basic from the outside, but the financial performance still depends on managing costs and protecting margins. A simple storage facility can still have rising costs, and for REIT investors, there is another layer beyond property-level costs: interest rates, valuation, and acquisition returns. The third major risk is valuation. Public storage may be a great company, but a great company can still be a bad investment at the wrong price. REITs are sensitive to interest rates because rates affect the cost of capital, acquisition spreads, cap rates, and investor demand for income-producing assets. When rates are higher, investors may demand better returns from REITs. That can pressure valuations. On top of that, PSA is working through a major acquisition. The NSA deal may create value, but investors need to watch integration risk, expected synergies, acquisition returns, leverage, and whether the transaction actually improves long-term per-share cash flow. This is why largest self-storage REIT is not enough by itself. The largest REIT is not automatically the best-priced REIT. The question is whether the quality, growth, and cash flow justify the valuation. And if this type of no-hike REIT analysis is useful, this is a good place to pause for one quick request. This is the kind of REIT analysis we focus on at Boring Money Wins. Not just asking whether a company is big, not just chasing dividend yield, not ignoring same-store revenue, not ignoring NOI, not ignoring core FFO, and not assuming that a famous REIT is automatically a good buy. If this kind of practical investing breakdown is useful, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It helps the channel grow and it tells YouTube to show more clear investing content to people who want analysis without hype. Now that we understand public storage's scale, numbers, guidance, acquisition, and risks, let's compare PSA with the rest of the self-storage REIT space. When investors look at public storage, the natural comparison is extra space storage and other self-storage REITs. PSA has the largest brand, it has massive scale, it has strong margins, and it has depending NSA acquisition. Extra space storage is also a large operator with a major management platform, acquisition strategy, and strong operating reputation. Smaller self-storage REITs may offer more niche exposure, but they may also have less scale and more company-specific risk. The key is not just asking which company is bigger. Investors should compare same-store NOI, occupancy, balance sheet strength, dividend policy, growth strategy, acquisition execution, and valuation. In self-storage, scale matters, but execution and valuation still matter more. So the practical question becomes, who may actually like PSA and who should be more careful? Public storage may appeal to investors who want exposure to the self-storage leader. It may fit investors who value scale, brand recognition, operational real estate, core FFO analysis, and long-term REIT exposure. It may also appeal to investors who want a large established REIT instead of the smaller, more niche self-storage company. But some investors should be careful. If you are expecting explosive growth, PSA may disappoint you. If you are only chasing dividend yield, you may miss the bigger picture. If you ignore same-store weakness, you may overestimate the near-term growth story. If you buy only because public storage is big, that is not enough analysis. And if you ignore the execution risk around the NSA deal, you may underestimate the complexity. PSA may be a high-quality REIT, but quality still has a price. So let's bring this together into the final verdict. So is public storage still worth watching in 2026? Yes. Public storage remains one of the most important self-storage REITs in the market. It has scale, it has brand power, it has strong margins, it has a major operating platform, and the pending NSA acquisition could increase its footprint and long-term opportunity. But this is not a perfect story. Same-store growth is still pressured, expenses still matter, interest rates still matter, integration risk matters, and valuation matters. The balanced answer is this. Public storage can still be a strong self-storage REIT in 2026, but investors need to pay a reasonable price for durable cash flow. The best real estate investment is not always the biggest one. It is the one where cash flow survives. That is the boring answer, and boring money usually wins because boring money usually survives.